The old veteran James had lived in his tiny run-down home for years, scraping by on his pension and fixing neighbors' cars just to keep food on the table, when suddenly the neighborhood association, led by smug wealthy residents, knocked on his door one morning demanding he pay a shocking $10,000 in fines for supposed violations like an old fence and peeling paint, knowing full well he could never afford it, and hoping they could pressure him to sell and leave so they could grab his property for cheap. James listened quietly, his worn hands folded, his eyes sharp but tired. He felt the humiliation boiling inside him after serving his country with honor, only to be treated like dirt in his own town. Yet instead of lashing out, he simply nodded and asked for time to think. That night, while others slept, James walked through the streets of the neighborhood, remembering the friends he had lost and wore the sacrifices he had made and the dignity he deserved. And the next day, he showed up at the HOA meeting with something that silenced the entire room: a thick folder of documents signed by the city itself, granting him first refusal rights and tax sale opportunities on multiple lots across the block, rights that he had quietly inherited years ago through a fellow veteran's estate and never mentioned before. Now, everyone stared as the man they had mocked revealed he legally owned half the neighborhood. In an instant, the balance of power shifted from them to him, as he calmly explained that any further harassment would result in their homes being evaluated under his oversight and possibly even reclaimed at auction. The same people who sneered at him the day before now begged him for mercy. So here is the question: if you were in James's shoes, would you forgive the same neighbors who try to crush you, or would you let them feel the weight of their own greed? James finally stood tall, tears stinging his eyes, not from pain, but from the strange sweetness of justice. He reminded them that respect is not bought with money but earned through honor. And as the meeting ended, whispers spread that the poor veteran they tried to ruin had become the man who now held their future in his calloused hands.